Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to English with Aurora. You know what? I'm absolutely thrilled you're here today because I have something incredibly special planned for you. Have you ever found yourself in that frustrating moment where you know some English, you've studied grammar, you've memorized vocabulary lists, but when it comes to actually having a real conversation, your mind just goes blank? I see you nodding. And you know what? That's completely normal, and today we're going to change that forever. In the next 90 minutes together, we're going to transform your English-speaking confidence through everyday conversation practice. Not boring textbook dialogues, not artificial scenarios that you'll never use in real life, but actual, practical conversations that happen every single day around the world. But here's the thing, and this is really important. This isn't just about learning phrases. Anyone can memorize phrases. What we're going to do today is build your conversational instincts. By the end of our time together, you'll have that natural flow, that confidence to jump into conversations without fear, and most importantly, you'll feel like you truly belong in English-speaking environments. Let's start with something that happens to all of us every single day, meeting people and small talk. Now, I want you to imagine this scenario. You're at a coffee shop, maybe it's your first day at a new job, or you're traveling, and someone approaches you with a friendly smile. What do they usually say? Hi there, how's your day going? Simple, right? But here's where most English learners panic. They think they need to give a perfect, elaborate response. But guess what? Native speakers keep it simple too. Here are your go-to responses. Pretty good, thanks. How about yours? Going well so far. And you? Not bad at all. Thanks for asking. You see, the magic isn't in being perfect. It's in being natural and keeping the conversation flowing. That little question at the end, how about yours? Or, and you? That's your conversation lifeline. It keeps the dialogue going and takes the pressure off you. Let me tell you about my student Maria. She was terrified of small talk. She once told me, Aurora, I can discuss complex topics in English, but when someone asks me how my day is, I freeze. So we practiced these simple responses over and over. Now, 6 months later, she's the person at her office who initiates conversations. She recently told me, I realize that people aren't looking for my life story when they ask how my day is. They just want to connect for a moment. But let's go deeper. What happens when small talk turns into getting to know someone? This is where it gets exciting. Someone might ask you, so, what do you do for work? Where are you from originally? What brings you to this area? Now, here's a secret that will change everything for you. Instead of just answering the question, use what I call the answer plus technique. You answer the question and then add one interesting detail that gives the other person something to respond to. For example, instead of just saying, I'm a teacher, try, I'm a teacher, and I actually just started working with elementary kids, which is completely different from what I used to do. See the difference? You've given them a hook. They can ask about elementary kids or about what you used to do before. You've become interesting. Here are more examples. Instead of I'm from Brazil, try, I'm from Brazil, from a small town that most people haven't heard of, but it's actually famous for having the best coffee plantations in the region. Instead of I'm here for work, try, I'm here for work, and honestly, I never expected to fall in love with this city the way I have. Now, let's talk about one of the most common everyday situations, shopping and dealing with customer service. Picture this. You walk into a store and immediately someone approaches you with, Hi, can I help you find anything today? Don't panic. Here are your natural responses. I'm just browsing, thank you. Actually, yes, I'm looking for. I'm good for now, but I'll let you know if I need anything. But what if you do need help? Here's how to ask naturally. Excuse me, could you help me find? Hi there, I'm looking for. Do you know where I might find it? Sorry to bother you, but do you have in stock? And here's something that will make you sound incredibly natural. Always acknowledge their help. That's perfect. Thank you so much. You've been really helpful. I appreciate it. Great. Thanks for pointing me in the right direction. Let me share a quick story. Last month, my student Carlos was shopping for a suit for his job interview. He was nervous about communicating with the salesperson, but he used exactly these phrases. Not only did he successfully buy the perfect suit, but the salesperson was so impressed with his politeness that they spent extra time helping him coordinate everything. Carlos got the job, by the way. Speaking of job interviews, let's talk about professional conversations. This is where many of you get really nervous, and I completely understand why. Professional English feels more formal, more serious, more scary. But here's the truth: professional conversations follow the same basic patterns as casual ones. They're just wrapped in slightly more formal language. Let's start with introducing yourself professionally. Hi, I'm Sarah. It's nice to meet you. Hello, I'm David. Thanks for taking the time to meet with me. Good morning, I'm Anna. I'm really excited to be here. Now, in professional settings, you'll often hear, tell me a little bit about yourself. What interests you about this position? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? These questions feel overwhelming, but they're actually opportunities to shine. The key is preparation and natural delivery. For tell me about yourself, use this structure. Present plus past plus future. Currently, I'm working as a marketing coordinator where I manage social media campaigns. Previously, I spent 3 years in customer service, which taught me how to really understand what clients need. Moving forward, I'm excited about growing into a role where I can develop more strategic marketing initiatives. See how smooth that flows? Present, past, future. Easy to remember, impossible to mess up. Now let's move into something. We all deal with restaurant situations. Dining out should be enjoyable, not stressful. But I know many of you feel anxious about ordering food or dealing with restaurant staff. Let's change that right now. When you enter a restaurant, you might hear, "Good evening, do you have a reservation? How many people will be dining today? Right this way, please." Your response is, "Yes, it should be under the name. Just 2 of us tonight. Thank you so much." When you're seated, the server will typically say, "Can I start you off with something to drink? Have you had a chance to look at the menu? Any questions about the menu?" Here's how to respond naturally. "I'll have a water with lemon, please. Could we have a few more minutes? Actually, yes. What would you recommend?" And here's a pro tip. Don't be afraid to ask for recommendations. Servers love helping, and it takes the pressure off you to choose. What's popular here? What's your favorite dish? Is there anything you'd especially recommend? I remember when my student Jin first moved to the United States. He was so worried about ordering food that he lived on takeout pizza for 3 weeks. But once we practiced these basic restaurant phrases, everything changed. Now he's that person who asks about daily specials and wine pairings. Let's talk about something that makes many people nervous: phone conversations. I get it. Phone calls in your native language can be challenging enough, but in English, it feels impossible. But here's the secret: phone conversations in English follow very predictable patterns. When you answer the phone, "Hello, this is Sarah." "Good morning, Sarah speaking." "Hi there." When you're calling someone, "Hi, this is Mike. Is Sarah available?" "Good afternoon. I'm calling about." "Hello, could I speak with, please?" For business calls, "Thank you for calling company name. This is Sarah. How can I help you?" "I'm calling to inquire about." "Could you please transfer me to?" And here are some life-saving phrases for when things get confusing. I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Could you speak a bit more slowly, please? Let me make sure I understand correctly. Now let's dive into travel situations, airports, hotels, and getting around. Traveling is one of the most exciting ways to use English, but it can also be one of the most stressful. Let's prepare you for success. At the airport, you'll encounter passport and boarding pass, please. Did you pack these bags yourself? Are you checking any bags today? Your response is, here you go. Yes, I packed them myself. Just this one bag, please. At hotels, I have a reservation under. What time is checkout? Is breakfast included? When asking for directions, excuse me, how do I get to? Is it within walking distance? Could you point me in the right direction? Here's something beautiful that happened to my student Alina. She was traveling alone in Australia, completely nervous about navigating everything in English. But she used these exact phrases we practiced. Not only did she successfully manage all her travel needs, but she made friends with locals who were impressed by her clear communication. She told me later, Aurora, I realized that people want to help. I just needed to know how to ask. Let's talk about expressing opinions and having discussions. This is where English really becomes fun. Having actual meaningful conversations about topics you care about. To express opinions softly. I think, in my opinion, it seems to me that. To express stronger opinions. I really believe that. I'm convinced that. There's no doubt in my mind that. To disagree politely. I see your point, but that's interesting, although I think. I understand where you're coming from, however. To ask for others' opinions. What do you think about? How do you feel about? What's your take on? And here's something crucial. How to buy time when you need to think. That's a great question. Let me think about that for a second. I've never really considered that before. You know what? That's really interesting. Now let's discuss something that happens constantly, making plans and social arrangements. This is everyday English at its most practical. You'll use these phrases constantly. Making invitations. Would you like to? Are you free this weekend? Want to grab coffee sometime? Accepting invitations. That sounds great. I'd love to. Count me in. Declining politely. I wish I could, but I already have plans. That sounds fun, but I'm not available. Rain check, I'm swamped this week. Making suggestions. How about we? What if we? Why don't we? Confirming plans. So we're meeting at 7, right? Just to confirm, it's at the downtown location. Should I bring anything? Let's dive into workplace conversations beyond interviews. Daily office life requires a whole different set of conversational skills. Let's master them. Starting your day. Good morning. How was your weekend? Hey there. Ready for another Monday? Morning. Did you catch the game last night? In meetings. I'd like to add something to that point. Could we circle back to that later? Just to clarify, are you saying? Asking for help. Could you give me a hand with this? Do you have a minute to look at something? I'm struggling with. Any suggestions? Offering help. Need any help with that? I'm happy to take a look if you want. Let me know if you need anything. My student Ahmed told me something wonderful last week. He said, Aurora, I used to eat lunch alone every day because I was too nervous to join conversations. Now I'm the one suggesting where the group should go for lunch. That's the power of confident conversational English. Let's talk about handling problems and complaints. Because life happens. Nobody wants problems, but when they occur, you need to communicate clearly and effectively. Describing problems. I'm having trouble with. There seems to be an issue with. Something's not working correctly. Making complaints politely. I hate to complain, but I wanted to bring to your attention that there's been a misunderstanding about asking for solutions. What can we do about this? How do we fix this situation? What are my options? Expressing frustration appropriately. This is really frustrating. I'm quite disappointed about. This isn't what I expected. Now, let's explore expressing emotions and feelings. Because English isn't just about exchanging information, it's about connecting with people. Expressing happiness. I'm thrilled about. I couldn't be happier. This made my day. Expressing concern. I'm a bit worried about. This has me concerned. I'm not sure how I feel about. Showing empathy. I can imagine how you must feel. That must be really difficult. I'm sorry you're going through that. Sharing excitement. I can't wait to. I'm so excited about. This is going to be amazing. Let's discuss something really important, cultural conversations, and showing interest in others. This is where English becomes a bridge to understanding and connecting with people from different backgrounds. Asking about culture. What's it like in your country? How different is it from here? What do you miss most about home? Sharing your culture. In my country, we usually. One thing that's different is. You might find this interesting. Showing curiosity. I've always wondered about. That's fascinating. Tell me more. I had no idea. What else? Now let's talk about technology and modern life conversations. Because let's be honest, half of our daily conversations involve technology somehow. Tech problems. My phone is acting up. The Wi-Fi isn't working. I can't figure out this app. Social media. Did you see that post about? I'm not really on social media much. I saw the funniest thing online today. Online shopping. I ordered it online. Have you tried that website? The reviews were really good. Let's dive into health and wellness conversations, because taking care of ourselves is universal. At the doctor. I've been feeling. It started about ago. Is this something I should worry about? At the gym. Are you using this machine? How many sets do you have left? Could you spot me? Talking about diet. I'm trying to eat healthier. I've been cutting back on. Have you tried that new restaurant? Let's explore entertainment and leisure conversations. Movies and TV. Have you seen? What did you think of? I'm binge watching. Music. What kind of music do you listen to? Have you heard their new song? I'm going to a concert next week. Sports. Did you catch the game? Who are you rooting for? I can't believe they won. Now, something really important, handling misunderstandings gracefully. Because even native speakers have misunderstandings. It's not about perfection, it's about communication. When you don't understand. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you explain that differently? I'm not following. Could you give me an example? When someone doesn't understand you. Let me put it another way. What I mean is, for example, clarifying, just to make sure we're on the same page. So what you're saying is, if I understand correctly, let's talk about time management and scheduling conversations. Running late. I'm running a few minutes behind. Traffic is crazy. I'll be there soon. Sorry, I'm going to be about 10 minutes late. Rescheduling. Something came up. Can we reschedule? Would next week work better? I need to move our meeting. Time expressions. I'll be there in a bit. Give me a few minutes. I should be free around 3. Now let's discuss weather conversations, because it's not small talk, it's social bonding. Weather is actually brilliant for English practice because it's safe, universal, and gives you lots of opportunities to use descriptive language. Basic weather. Beautiful day, isn't it? Looks like rain. It's pretty chilly out there. Seasonal talk. I love this time of year. I'm so ready for spring. Winter is lasting forever this year. Weather complaints, because we all do it. This heat is killing me. I'm so tired of this rain. When is this cold snap going to end? Let's explore transportation and commuting conversations. Getting around. How do you usually get to work? Traffic was terrible this morning. The subway was packed. Car troubles. My car is in the shop. I need to get gas. I'm looking for parking. Public transport. Is this the right platform for? How many stops to? Do I need to transfer? Now, let's talk about family and relationships, because these are the conversations that really matter. Talking about family. Do you have any siblings? My family is pretty close. We get together every holiday. Relationships. We've been together for. How did you two meet? Marriage is a big step. Kids. Kids say the funniest things. Parenting is exhausting but rewarding. They grow up so fast. Let's discuss money and shopping conversations, practical stuff you need every day. Budgeting. I'm trying to save money. That's a bit out of my budget. I'm looking for something more affordable. Shopping. Is this on sale? Do you have this in a different size? What's your return policy? Banking. I need to deposit this check. What are your fees for? I'd like to open an account. Now, let's explore hobby and interest conversations, because this is where your personality shines. Discovering interests. What do you do for fun? Any interesting hobbies? How did you get into that? Sharing passions. I'm really into. I've been doing this for years. It's become quite an obsession. Learning together. Have you ever tried? Want to learn together? I could teach you if you're interested. Let's talk about future plans and dreams, because hope and ambition are universal languages. Short-term plans. This weekend I'm planning to. Next month I'm hopping to. I'm working on. Long-term goals. Eventually, I'd love to. My dream is to. I'm saving up to. Career aspirations. I'm thinking about changing careers. I'd love to get into. My goal is to. Here's something beautiful I want to share with you. Last year, one of my students, Roberto, was afraid to talk about his dreams in English. He wanted to start his own business, but felt his English wasn't good enough to discuss complex ideas. We practiced these future-focused conversations until he felt confident. 6 months later, he pitched his business idea to American investors in English and got funding. He told me, Aurora, once I could talk about my dreams in English, they felt more real, more possible. Now, let's discuss conflict resolution and difficult conversations. Because life isn't always smooth, and you need to navigate challenging discussions in English too. Addressing issues. I think we need to talk about. There's something I'd like to discuss. I've been thinking about our conversation. expressing disagreement respectfully. I see it differently. I'm not sure I agree with that. That's one way to look at it, but finding compromise. What if we try? Could we find a middle ground? I'm willing to meet you halfway. Let's explore compliments and positive interactions. Because spreading positivity in English is one of the most beautiful gifts you can give. Giving compliments. I love what you've done with. You're really good at. That looks amazing on you. Receiving compliments. Thank you so much. That's really kind of you to say. I appreciate that. Encouraging others. You've got this. I believe in you. You're doing great. Finally, let's talk about goodbyes and ending conversations gracefully. Because how you end a conversation is just as important as how you start it. Casual goodbyes. It was great talking with you. Have a wonderful day. See you around. Professional goodbyes. Thank you for your time. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a productive day. When you want to see someone again. Let's do this again soon. I'd love to continue this conversation. We should grab coffee sometime. You know what I want you to remember from our time together today? You just spent 90 minutes absorbing hundreds of practical English phrases and conversation patterns. But more than that, you've been training your brain to think conversationally in English. Every single phrase we've practiced today comes from real situations, real conversations that happen millions of times around the world every single day. And now, you're equipped to be part of those conversations. You're not just learning English anymore, you're living English. I want you to understand something really important. Fluency isn't about perfection. It's about connection. It's about the confidence to express yourself, to ask questions, to share your thoughts and dreams and concerns with other people. And that confidence, you're building it right now, one conversation at a time. Tomorrow, when someone asks you, "How's your day going?" you'll know exactly what to say. When you need to make plans with a colleague, you'll have the words. When you want to share something exciting that happened to you, you'll be able to express that joy. But here's the most beautiful part. English isn't just about the words you speak. It's about the connections you make, the opportunities you create, the version of yourself you become when you can communicate freely with people from all over the world. You are not just learning a language, you are expanding your universe. So tomorrow, I challenge you to use at least 3 phrases from our conversation today. Notice how natural they feel, how people respond positively to your clear communication, how your confidence grows with each interaction. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Every confident speaker was once where you are right now. The only difference between them and you is practice and persistence. Keep practicing, keep connecting, and keep believing in yourself. Your English journey is not just about reaching a destination. It's about enjoying every conversation, every connection, every moment of understanding along the way. Thank you for spending these 90 minutes with me. You've invested in yourself today, and that investment will pay dividends in every conversation you have from now on. Until next time, keep speaking, keep learning, and keep shining. This is Aurora, and I'm so proud of how far you've come. See you in the next lesson.